Sukwigar Vodeon and hello friends, welcome back to the channel. GungHoGuns here from Mando. The mustache is freshly waxed, aerodynamic, and ready for maximum disappointment because today we're talking SWTOR Nerfs. That's right friends, on November 13th, yesterday, the devs pushed a quick patch the same way a Jawa patches a speeder by hitting it repeatedly until something breaks. We got some buffs, some nerfs, or as they call it, adjustments. These few changes will make you stare at your monitor like you just walked into your parents doing yoga, upside down. Some classes got a gentle pat on the back, others got launched into the sun with the force of 1,000 Mandalorian Beskar anvils. And you're probably wondering, does this affect me, GungHo? And the answer is yes, it does, my friends. Anyway, sit back, grab a drink, and let me walk you through every single change so you don't have to dig through all these patch notes by yourself that were probably written by somebody who hates fun. Anyway, let's get into it. Looking for like-minded lunatics to play SWTOR with? Then why not join the Mando community? We're on the Starforge server and we've been around since the Star Wars Galaxy days. Back when blasters overheated and the cantina was the real endgame. We run everything: PvE, operation, dungeons, weekly world bosses, PvP, duels, bounties, you name it. If it explodes, we're probably already there. So if you want a crew that actually plays and isn't just standing around on fleet courting Revan, then join Mando. Discord is in the bio. Strap in, is going to get loud. All right, thank you very much, friends, for being here. I appreciate all of you. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. And then let me know in the comments what you guys think, if this is going to affect you, or if you're just pretty much looking to start a new class and you're trying to, find some research, all that good stuff. Anyway, let's get into it. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you all of the patch notes, and I'm going to show you the moves that it's going to affect, so it's a little easier for you to understand. All right, now let us take a look at the patch notes. As you see right here, I'll actually put this link, by the way, in the description for you guys to check it yourself, but I'm going to go over it. I'm actually going to show you, and we'll talk about how it's going to affect you. Let's start off with the Mercenary Commando, which is, again, my class. I play a Merc IO. This is actually pretty good news for us. I was hoping, honestly, for a little bit more damage, burst, or sustained, but I guess this will do. This is more for PvP, by the way. Hydraulic overrides or hold the line duration is going to increase from 6 seconds to 8 seconds, and the movement speed is going to increase from 30% to 40%. Is this a big deal? I'll be honest, no, not really. It's good to have, for us, whatever, but personally, as a mercenary main, awesome, thank you. But if Broadsword is listening, we'd appreciate maybe a little bit of DPS. Anyway, let me show you what the actual move is so you guys can see it. And it is this thing right here. As you see, it is the hydraulic overrides, 45-second cooldown. It's that 6 second of immunity from movement impairing effects, and it just kind of, like I said, just makes you kind of run a little bit faster. That is the actual thing that this is going to do. Moving on to the Power Tech and Vanguard, and this is where the bad news comes, my friends. So if you, again, mostly for PvP, again, one more time, but if you play any of the Power Tech or Vanguard, advanced classes in PvP, this is going to affect you. Your hydraulic overrides or hold the line, if you are, a trooper, the cooldown is going to increase from 35 seconds to 45 seconds, and the duration is going to be lowered from 10 seconds to 8 seconds. Now, this is a really big thing, guys, and let me actually show you what that means here. So again, I play, as you see here, I play all 3 classes in PvP, and hydraulic overrides, especially if you're like an APPT, you're the burst damage class, like I go in there, I drop all my damage. That 10 seconds kind of gives me just enough time to go in there and not worry about any movement impairing effects. I can drop everything and get the hell out of there, back to my healer and my tank, etc., right? Same thing for the others. Now that, again, is going to change, as you see right here, from 35 seconds to 45 seconds, and then that 10 seconds to 8 seconds. I think this is going to be very noticeable, especially if you are a main power tech. I think the extra 2 seconds is going to be a big thing. The second thing they did for the power tech Vanguards, as you see right here, is your advanced terminal droid or your suppression droid. Again, if you are a Vanguard, the cooldown was increased from 20 seconds to 45 seconds. Range was decreased from 30 to 10, and they lowered the AoE size. To be honest, they're pretty much going to kill this move off altogether. Now, I'll be honest again, as you see, let's go back in game really quick. I actually want to show you this. This is this move right here in 43, by the way. There were some PTs that I played with, especially back in the day. This was what they ran, especially when, the stealthers were just a lot, more prevalent, a lot more damage. This is how you would just kill off all the stealthers. And, you can, I know of people that still run it, but with this new update, this move is pretty much dead. I don't think anybody's ever going to use it ever. Moving on to the sniper and gunslinger, which is the marksman and sharpshooter. Now, if you guys, have been keeping up with my channel, I actually put a guide out here for this class. I can hit about 30k on my sharpshooter, if you will. However, I'll be honest, it is just a lot easier to do that on the other classes. What this class needs is more damage. So this is what they did. Your smuggler's luck, by the way, is going to be increased from 100% to 105% on your next ambush. Here's what that looks like. So as you see right here, you get 2 of the smuggler lucks. This is, by the way, the gunslinger version. You get 2 of the smuggler lucks that you can use right before your aim shot for that, 105%. Is it going to be enough? I personally don't think so. But again, we will have to see. Again, that is more for PvE. For PvP side, obviously for you guys that have played the sniper, the gunslinger for a while, you'll know that there is a tactical, and I can actually show you that here. I believe I still have it on me somewhere, and this would be this right here, where you can make it do 30% more damage when you do the roll. Maybe if you can combine that with the smuggler's luck, that extra 5% might make a difference in PvP. I really don't think it will. But again, we'll have to test it out more to kind of figure it out. But again, I'm glad that they're actually looking at this class finally and giving it, some God-needed love, because they just forgot about it. While like the engineering side or the virulence side is just doing a lot more damage, where they just kind of forget about, the direct damage one. Let's have some good news for once, actually, right? Moving on to the Sorcerer and the Sage. This is going to be really good for us, guys, especially for you guys that like to play this class. Starting off with the lightning and the telekinetics. Again, I play the lightning side. I love it. They're going to increase the damage pretty much to halted offense by 7%, thundering blast by 5%, and lightning flash by 10%. As you see here, don't worry about this craziness happening on my screen. I was building something with the UI and it just kind of got crazy. I just left it there. But anyway, I wanted to bring them up to you. So as you see right here, your halted offense is one of your biggest hitters that you will actually have. Part of the rotation that I use is like I'll use halted offense into a thundering blast into another halted offense, and it's like 300-400k damage off the bat. On top of that, your lightning flash is another big hitter. So it's like your 3 top hitters, they're going to increase the damage by them by quite a bit. This is, again, amazing news for you lightning Sorc guys for PvE. Now, again, if you go back to my channel, I can hit 31, 33, 34k on my lightning Sorc easily. Here is the up part, and again, this is very scary for you guys that do a PvP with one. Lightning, by the way, lightning Sorcs have been kind of like the hidden meta for a very long time, just because of the amount of burst damage that you can do off the bat. A lot of people that I know in PvP that run a lot of pre-mades will always have like a lightning Sorc with them, especially for those that just want to cancel out the healers, because again, you can do like 300-400k damage within seconds on a lightning Sorc. So again, if you PvP with one, let me know what you guys think, because I think this is going to be crazy amazing for you guys that are doing lightning Sorcs. Switching over to the madness part, and again, once again, more damage, which is really crazy for this class. Now, obviously in PvE, the Sorcs were always good. You can always hit like a 30 plus K, 32, 33k easily, with lightning and balance, or madness, if you will. But again, they just gave you a little bit more damage. The only thing that really took apart was the lifesteal, which is by 5%. I don't think anybody's really going to miss this, but they did increase the damage of your Force Leech by 10%, your Demolish by 10%, your Creeping Terror by 5%. And again, if you see right over here, this is pretty much all of those attacks. I'm not going to go like too crazy into them, but these are just pretty much dots that they're going to increase the damage they do. Here is the crazy part, guys. And again, for you PvP heads, let me know in the comments. In my opinion, and again, this is my opinion only, For as long as I can remember, there have been 3 classes that I would consider S classes in PvP in SWTOR. One of them was the Madness Sorcerer. Just because the way that you would play PvP, you can have so much damage output, it is crazy, that you can actually sustain damage as well. You can be one of the craziest damage dealers in there. On top of that, with all the utilities that you have and all the group play and everything else that the Sorc Madness offers you, it was one of those classes where it was just, if you compare to the others, it was like in a section by itself when it came to classes. They just gave you more damage. They just gave you a lot more damage. Again, let me know what you guys think. I know that, 5% lifesteal might seem like a huge thing, but I don't really think it is. But they increase the damage your Force Leech is going to do by 10%. Again, guys, I think this was a huge win for the Sorcerers, which makes me think, are the devs that made this change, are they playing Sorcerer? Somebody should investigate this because this seems really crazy to me. All right, moving on to the Marauder and the Sentinel. And again, I'll be honest here, guys. I have been playing this game since beta, since the game came out. And Marauder Sentinel is just one of those classes that I never really fooled around with. I have an alt that I can log in and I can do somewhat like 25, 26, 27k damage. But I wouldn't call myself an expert, so I'm not going to comment too much on this, apart from what I see in like raids and PvP. So with that said, your Vicious Slasher / the non-weapon damage was increased by 5%, and your Saber Throw, your Dual Saber Throw, was also increased by 5%, the non-weapon damage. Again, I don't even know what this means, if I'm being honest with you. I assume this just means that force damage, because there's pretty much, yellow damage and white damage, and the white damage is always the weapon damage. Anyway, maybe crit damage. Regardless, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Anyway, moving on to Annihilation and Watchmen. Now, this is going to be a little crazy because I actually did speak to a few of my friends who raid all the time on their Watchmen, and they're like the secret weapon on how to beat R4 easily. And you just bring a Marauder, Watchman on there who can heal the entire group. Their Berserk Zen, which is, pretty much how you heal, it is going to from 1% max out to 0.85. So again, we'll have to see how big of a thing this is going to be. A range unchanged, which is good, but it looks like they are going to change, or they decrease how much healing output you're going to do. Interesting. Again, we'll have to see how crazy it is and if it's super noticeable. Again, we'll just have to play it by ear in that one. Tier 1 ability modifier, Draining Center, Mentating Center, now deals 3 times initial damage, up from 2%. Now again, this could be a little bit more damage. I just don't know if this is really going to matter at all, if I'm being honest. All right, let's move on to tacticals, because this is going to be a pretty funny one. So Cut to Pieces is one of my favorite tacticals to use. Let me pull it up for you guys here, actually. And it is this little bad boy right here. When a burn tick, especially on like a dot spec Juggernaut or Guardian, when a burn tick critically hits, which is, by the way, all the time, like 99%, 99.999% of the time, it reduces the cooldown of Vigilant Thrust or Smash, which is, by the way, 8 seconds already. The way that this would work is when you start getting, going with it, especially if you put it together with like Burning Focus and all that good stuff, you can pretty much do like Vigilant Thrust, like thrust, or smash, 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 smash. There is a lot of people that use that in raids and operations, primarily for PvP as well. People gather, but it makes it where you can do like 150 to 160k damage in operations on ads, which in turn is when, if you fight a boss that has ads, you will pretty much out DPS everybody by a lot, but because of this tactical and the way that this works. They call these, by the way, the Smash Monkeys. This was like a big thing back in the day as well, especially in PvP. It's making a comeback with this, or it was. Now, what they did with Cut to Pieces, which makes it funny, it now has an internal cooldown between procs. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't actually PvP'd on my Juggernaut or Guardian in like a year and a half, 2 years maybe. I've just been really focusing on all the other classes. I find the Juggernauts to be a little bit easier. But let me know what you guys think, how this is going to affect you in PvP. The way that I am taking this, update to this tactical, the internal cooldown of how they've done it before, that it is no longer going to be like smash, 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 smash. Now you're going to be, have the internal cooldown. So it's going to be like smash, global cooldown, smash, filler, smash, filler. It's going to kind of make it, a little bit less crazy the way that it is now. In my opinion, it's a good change because, again, I just hate seeing some of these juggernauts do like 100+ K damage with one move. I'm not going to mention any names, Elvis, but you know who I'm talking about. Anyway, let me know what you guys think on that part. Moving on to the neural trigger, which no longer ignores resolve in PvP. Now, again, really quick on this. This tactical was already nerfed to hell before this patch. And I'll be honest, I don't know anybody that continues to use neural trigger at all anymore. And now it no longer ignores resolve. Pretty much throw it in the dumpster. I think this is pretty much goodbye. That's just, again, my opinion. Moving on to the last part, which was the implant with aggressive treatment, not being able to be used by the medicine operative and the healer, scoundrel. Really good thing, by the way. I definitely enjoyed this update here as well. I'm not going to go too much into it. It's just, again, one of the things that gives you a different way to play it. Anyway, really cool, really interesting patch notes that will be on the PTS. Let me know what you guys think about this. A little crazy in my opinion, especially with the Sorcs and what they did with the Vanguard power tags in PvP. I think that's just criminal in my opinion. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Please don't forget to let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I will see you next time. Have a good one, everyone, and take care.